Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. Let's see which way the momentum is moving on two momentum stock picks that Mike Vodicka, our momentum stock analyst from Zacks.com, wants to bring to our attention in this conversation. Green Mountain Coffee Roasters is one stock that you've written about, one company you've written about recently, GMCR, the ticker symbol. Now, everybody knows the name who drinks coffee, I'm sure, but there's an interesting story here.
Yes, there is. This company has been doing exceptionally well, and that's kind of that's what caught my attention. Is their sales growth year over year has been pretty phenomenal. We can get into a little get into that a little bit more later, but just off the top of to start it off with, Green Mountain Coffee is a company that produces coffee beans and coffee grounds. They function both domestically and international, so they have nice diversification geographically. For a coffee company, they've been around for a long time. They've been in business since 1981, so they're 25 plus years, and a market cap of $3.67 billion, so it's a pretty big company.
So they don't grow the beans. They buy the beans from farms,
yeah,
and then they
I'd say they're essentially their wholesalers,
and
really.
Retail them.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit of retail too. Mm-hmm. But basically, shares of Green Mountain have kind of been on fire for the last year. They've more than tripled in the last 12 months, and that's really a function of what we're seeing happening on the fundamental side of the business. The company's first quarter results from the end of January, we saw sales growth of 77% year over year, which is phenomenal for a coffee company. So I said to myself, like, well, what's driving this growth? So I dug a little bit deeper, right. And what I found out is that they're selling these little individual coffee packets called K-Cups that allows people to use their one-cup brewing system, the Keurig brewing system. They're really popular. They have really big margins, and it's producing kind of a windfall of cash for this company right now. During that quarter, they also posted earnings of 27 cents per share. That was 11 cents ahead of the Zacks consensus estimate, so that was a nice beat. The company's beat for the last 4 quarters in a row by an average of 36%, so they have some really nice upward momentum right now. They've seen some expansion on the gross margins too. Commodity costs have been down a little bit for them, so they added 2 points to their gross margin. It's up to 29% right now. We've seen some upward movement on estimates. The current year estimate's up 9 cents in the last month to $1.99. The next year estimate is pegged at $2.68, so that's 35% earnings growth projection. That's pretty solid right there. The one drawback is that shares are a little bit pricey right now. We have a forward PE multiple of about 44 times, and no question that's a steep premium to the overall market. But the growth profile of the company is pretty impressive right now. Moving on to the chart, we saw shares bottom out at about 23 bucks in March, and then recently they topped off at 88, so big time gains on the table there.
All right, and Microsoft, MSFT, the ticker symbol, pretty large cap company here. What caught your attention about this one?
I guess what I'd say, this is kind of a playoff of some of the momentum we've seen in Microsoft from the release of their Windows 7. They talked about that a lot, their last quarter, the recent quarterly results from January 28th, and basically the operating system that they had released before that wasn't very popular, and so the market was there was a lot of pent-up demand waiting for 7 to come out. So it's been their best operating system they've sold so far, quantity-wise. They've sold 60 million licenses. And it's kind of given them a little bit of a push because they were trading a little bit flat for a couple of years, so it gave them kind of a nice, gave them some nice momentum. Mm-hmm. Their January 28th second quarter results, we did see sales up 14% year over year. So for a big company like Microsoft, that's pretty impressive. They're always consistent on the earnings. They've beat the last 4 quarters by an average of 25 cents, so there's some consistency in that capacity too. Their CFO was a little bit cautious on his in the conference call. A little bit cautious, but that's kind of the nature of Microsoft in general. They don't want to get expectations too high. We see shares trading at 14 times forward earnings right now, so that's a pretty reasonable valuation for the stock. And then the last piece of the puzzle, the chart. Right. We saw Microsoft bottom out in March with the market right at about $15, and recently we saw them trade over 31, so they've doubled in the last 12 months.
So that's a 52-week high?
Yes, it is, absolutely, yeah.
All right, do you own either of these two?
No, I don't.
Check out more Zacks Rank stock pick ideas for yourself on Zacks.com's homepage. Over in that upper right-hand corner, that's where we put 4 new stock pick ideas for you each day in Mike's Momentum category, as well as other categories written about on Zacks.com. With Mike, I'm Terry Ruffalo.